In accordance with Chapter 231 Open Public Meetings Act, adequate and proper notice of this meeting has been given to the public by publishing a notice in the Glen Ridge paper, Glen Ridge Voice, Montclair Times, and the Star Ledger, and posting said notice on the bulletin board in the municipal building. The agenda and public handouts for this meeting can be viewed online at www.glenridgenj.org. A public comment period will be held as listed on the agenda. Please state your name for the record and note that comments will be limited to 3 minutes per person. Madam Clerk, could we have a roll call, please?
Yes, Madam Mayor. Councilors Lefkowitz?
Here.
Hughes?
Here.
Moody? Here. Law?
Here.
Meyer?
Here.
Morrow? Here. Mayor Mans is present. Madam Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you so much. We have a number of approval for prior meeting minutes, August 19th, September 9th, September 23rd, October 15th, and October 18th. We will be doing a resolution as a block on these minutes. May I have a resolution to approve the minutes of the last several meetings?
Mayor, I move that we approve the minutes from these 5 meetings.
Thanks. I shouldn't have said resolution, a motion. I apologize. You've heard the motion by Councilor Lefkowitz. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
You've heard the motion by Councilor Lefkowitz, seconded by Councilor Moody. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Madam Mayor. Councilors Lefkowitz?
Aye.
Hughes?
I'm abstaining on September 23rd. Tara.
Gotcha. Moody? Aye. Law?
Aye.
Meyer?
Aye, with an abstention on August 19th.
And Morrow?
I, and I also will abstain from the August 19th.
So 6 ayes mostly.
6-ish.
6-ish mostly ayes and 2 abstentions. The motion carries.
More than
Thank you so much. Madam Clerk, do we have any presentation of written communications
No, there's none this evening.
this evening? I have no comments from the mayor. We will open it up now for the first public comment session. I'll just remark that there are a couple ordinances on the agenda. They will be introduced this evening. A public hearing that's specific for ordinances, let's say the leaf blower ordinance, will be at the next meeting. That's called the second reading of the ordinance, where they'll be opened up for comment on that ordinance. So if you do want to comment on a specific ordinance in general, please come through for this public comment period to do that, and there's also one at the end. With that in mind, I'll leave it up. So please come to the mic for public comment. Just state your name and address for the record.
Hi, I've never done this before. Hi, good evening, Mayor, and good evening, council members. My name is Claire Mooney, and I live at 39 Edgewood Road. I live on a border street. My porch and front yard are in Glen Ridge, but my house is in Bloomfield. Edgewood Road is in Glen Ridge. My neighbor's houses across the street are in Glen Ridge, and we are all experiencing flooding on both sides of the street. I'd like to submit a map, I guess, to the record, if you guys take that kind of thing.
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
that's it? Okay.
Yeah, pass it. Anne Marie's will make sure we.
Since Ida, I've spent about $60,000 replacing mechanicals, windows, and preventing flooding. When Ida hit in 2021, I ended up with 4 feet of water in my basement. All my mechanicals and appliances were destroyed. My car was also totaled. I cannot afford to continuously flood. My home is my retirement plan. Neighbors on both sides of Edgewood, especially at the lowest point of the street, have been repeatedly flooded. Many of us now have PTSD whenever it rains. It is imperative that our catch basins are kept free of leaves and debris, and the mains checked and flushed out regularly. When it rains rains heavily, like twice this past August, it is clear that the pressure in the antique and inadequately sized combined sewer CSOs push the sewer back into our basements and flood the streets. CSO done. Neighbors are regularly out knee-deep in that sewer water, clearing out the debris from our precious catch basins. See neighbors, knee-deep. This presents extreme health hazards, which also merits alarm. This August, a trail of gravel from a recently installed driveway up Belleville Avenue made it all the way around and down to our dip in the middle of Edgewood, giving visible proof there are not adequate drains uphill from us either. I'm not sure what side of the street is responsible for paving, but the parking is enforced by Glen Ridge and the street sweeping is provided by Bloomfield. I am requesting remedies to confusing parking regulations to more logically coordinate the two. I understand there is no overnight parking anywhere in Glen Ridge, although it is not posted on Edgewood Road. Green signs are posted to our parking on both sides of the entire length of Edgewood, and there is also There is also a red sign at the southwest end of Edgewood saying no parking Tuesdays from 12 to 3. Bloomfield provides a street sweeper to the entire street, which did a great job this summer coming on that schedule to sweep on Tuesdays between 12 and 3. Here's where things get crazy. Officer Matt, who I called here at Glen Ridge, informed me that the no parking Tuesdays 12 to 3 sign only applies to the last couple of houses near Park Avenue, a tiny sliver of Bloomfield. However, I personally witnessed twice in the past month, peak leaf season, the sweeper could not access the curbs and catch basins because cars were parked on both sides of the street overnight and for more than 2 hours. Basically, the sweeper wasted resources going down between parked cars only to blowing fairy dust because signs are non-existent or not enforced. I called and spoke to Officer Matt, and I'm grateful for his swift action to ticket cars after each time I called, but both times were after the sweeper had come, and he did not seem to be aware of flooding issues we've had and the importance of clearing the catch basin. So I'm here to formally enter this into the record and hope that all departments will be made aware and work together. We are formally asking Glen Ridge to put logical parking signs and enforcement mechanisms in place on the entire length of Edgewood Road to allow for Bloomfield to provide us with street sweeping, with extra attention to the catch basins and main cleanouts. I'm here tonight to ask Glen Ridge for the following specific actions. Please post and enforce the no overnight signs on Edgewood, and please deny special permission requests to park at catch basins overnight. Please enforce the 2-hour parking, especially on Monday nights and Tuesdays. Please extend the post no parking Tuesdays 12 to 3 signs all the way to Belleville Avenue. Please designate the 2 facing curbs of the catch basins permanently no parking or loading only with appropriate signage. Please add a separate stormwater line to our street or enlarge the existing one. Current CSOs clearly cannot handle the current volume. Most importantly, please take measures to contain of and dispose of water uphill before it reaches us. And also, last, please incentivize public properties to replace all the impervious asphalt on the massive public parking lots and sidewalks uphill from us. We understand climate change and flooding all over Essex County will require county, state, and likely federal level intervention and funding. I encourage Glen Ridge to collaborate with the newly formed Flood Mitigation Board along with surrounding towns to find more lasting solutions. For now, I am asking for relatively easy Edgewood Road flood actions to be implemented as soon as possible. Thank you for your consideration of all us neighbors on Edgewood Road.
All right, thanks. Ms. Mooney, yeah, may we have a copy of that? Is your email on that?
No.
Could you put that on there? So I think we were made aware of this issue, and in the short term, I think we do understand what you're saying on the parking. I know the chief's been made aware of it. It will require some coordination with Bloomfield because it is confusing.
Yeah, we have the west side of the road. The east side of the road, we have, I believe, 7 houses, and it spans from 7 houses south of Belleville Ave. So we have the other side, not Park.
I'm not sure which other side, but I'm at 39 and every bit of the catch
So
basins.
you had mentioned Park. We're on the other side, Belleville Ave of Edgewood.
But we can, so I guess the point is
Think
like
the map-
we do want to clarify, like, the issue on the street, and we can do that in conjunction with Bloomfield Police and see about the signage. It's confusing in the short term, and see if there might be some options there to clarify that. The longer term is, I do want to confirm that our borough administrator, and we have already started working with Bloomfield representatives on long-term flooding issues, and we're trying to get Montclair on board, as well as we had an outreach from the chair of the Flood Task Advisory Committee from Bloomfield, so we'll be setting up a meeting to go over that as well, for
Okay.
more of the long-term stuff. But we appreciate you, we know it's a huge issue, and we appreciate you bringing this to us.
Just the catch basins, for now, that's all I ask for. Just no parking when they're sweeping the streets.
Yeah.
We can't stand in this water every time it rains,
Okay.
it's sewer water. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Anyone else for public comment?
My name is John Zawacki. I live at 75 Sunset Avenue. I've lived at this address for 35 years. I have about 45 minutes of notes. I'm putting the notes back down here.
Thank you.
Which is
Just speak from your heart, John.
Start from the.
I got myself.
Bottom line is, we saw the study from the township regarding speed control on Sunset Avenue. Bottom line, and I'm going to let everybody speak their own opinions instead of me speaking for them. Just to give you a little background, right, I can appreciate your position. I spent 30 years in law enforcement on the federal, state, and local level. Also, I was a city administrator, right? I got to see the problems that you have, right, trying to make decisions. But one thing I did learn was second opinions and public concerns is very important to any study. I haven't had an opportunity. I've tried to see your surveys, studies, and whatever. I've had no.
We can get those for you, of course.
That's
Yeah.
what I like. That's
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I'm here tonight. But anyway, I did my own research, right? Well, let me get back to it. After finishing town administrator, retired, and I'm a faculty member at Montclair State College, teaching public safety issues and stuff like this. But getting back to this, right? I did my own study, right? And other people have assisted me and stuff like this, but I'll let them speak for themselves and everything else like this. I can't see a need based on my experiences, based on my research, right, and based on my education and working in this area that such a device is needed. Right, I came up with, I contacted the New Jersey Department of Transportation, their rules and manuals, federal one as well, and I saw several alternatives before we would elevate to the level of the stop sign. I feel a stop sign, I know my clock is ticking here, but the thing is that I saw that this would only create a greater hazardous condition. In terms of, right, is there speeding on Sunset Avenue? The answer is yes. I've noticed it myself, right? But you can pinpoint the times, certain times of the day this occurs, it's a cut through, right? Besides that, right, if you put this in, I think in that intersection, it's a T intersection, it's not a hazardous intersection. And based on my concern, based on my research, there was only one accident there, and that was two cars racing at 4 o'clock at midnight, okay? And they crashed into the ring, and one of them's here. But I guess the bottom line is, because I got 10 seconds? I guess my bottom line is, I really don't see a need for it, right?
Okay.
Based on my own research experiences and former positions.
No,
Thank
we
you very much.
appreciate that. The chief had indicated that you guys had reached out to the police department, and we do want to say the public safety committee is still under review, and we really appreciate the neighborhood feedback. It's really, really helpful, and it'll be definitely taken into
Well, based on
consideration.
my experience, I always thought that, well, Glen Ridge is way different from other cities and stuff like that. I appreciate Glen Ridge because you address issues.
We're trying. It's a pretty high bar, but thanks. Yes, perfect.
I'm John's wife.
Okay. Oh, I see, you're getting a twofer
That's
here.
right.
Okay.
Counter opinion.
I concur with what John had said, and I want to emphasize my two major concerns. We live at the end of Forest Avenue on the north side of the street. If the stop sign is placed between our home at 75 Sunset and 79 Sunset, it will constantly flash on and off into our living room, family room, and master bedroom. Put yourself in our place. The stop sign would be 33 feet from our windows, which would be insane to live with. My other concern is when we back our car out of our driveway going towards Montclair, we would potentially hit the stop sign because it would be too close to our driveway. It would be inches away from our driveway.
Okay. Thank you very much, appreciate that feedback.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name's George Long. I'm at 79 Sunset, which is right at the top of the T of the intersection. My main concern is if there are stop signs, will they be flashing? I also heard people mentioning speed bumps, which also could be, an issue since our bedroom is right off the street. So these are just concerns of mine. I do thank you for addressing the speed issue. When I first moved here 20 years ago, there was a guy coming at the same time in the morning. He did it 3 days in a row, racing down the block. I called Glenridge's finest. They said a guy right on Stonehouse. The next morning, I was out there watering the grass, watched him go by, pulled him over, gave him a ticket. From then on, he would only do 25 miles an hour going to work. So there's something to be said about, doing that or taking that avenue instead of investing a lot of money. So that's what I'm going to say. Thank you.
Okay, we appreciate that, thanks.
Charles Sermino, 71 Sunset. I understand the concerns that my neighbors have about a blinking stop sign, and I don't think that'll alleviate the speeding problem that we have on Sunset. Now, I'm not a public safety officer or anything like that, but I think what I would do, or a recommendation I would make, is if it's possible to make Sunset a one-way. It's a cross thoroughfare from Bloomfield to Montclair, Montclair back. Sometimes even the camp buses come up and down Sunset Avenue. I don't know, maybe if there's a problem, there's construction or something, but between putting a blinking stop sign, which would be, an obstruction to the people that live there, it's not gonna do anything for the speeding issue, and the speeding issue is a problem. Now, once in a while, the Bloomfield police will park on Essex
Yeah.
and patrol. I've seen Bloomfield policemen pulling people over either for being on phones or for speeding. I know, because I got being on phone. Yeah, the concern with the blinking lights, I mean, this is nothing's etched in stone, correct?
No.
This is still everything's under.
Oh,
review.
yeah, everything's under review, 100%, yeah.
But, I don't know who would make that decision, but I think making it a one-way, going up, because obviously people going downhill are gonna pick up speed at a normal 25 miles an hour. I mean, you really have to make a concerted effort to speed going uphill, so.
Okay,
That's-
yeah, it's under review by the Public Safety Committee, which is myself, Counselor Law, and Counselor Mora, yes, and the chief, and Mike Kelly, our borough administrator, so that's
Well,
what
I
it's.
appreciate your consideration.
Yeah.
And listening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Catherine Ongelfinger. I live at 69 Sunset Avenue. My husband and I have lived there for 25 years. We raised our children there. And interestingly enough, when we moved here, probably within a week of moving in, my husband was pulled over in Bloomfield, got a ticket. My daughter, in 2007, was pulled over in Montclair, got a ticket. It created a feeling within our family and to everyone that we knew, you're not gonna drive fast. For Victoria, it was, I'm definitely gonna put my seatbelt on when I drive in the car. You learn from tickets. It is the greatest deterrent that there is, in my opinion. My husband and I today drove around certain areas of Glen Ridge, I'm dating myself. Glen Ridge, where they had speed bumps, speed
Yeah.
humps. And I noticed that for every speed hump, there are 2 signs preceding the speed hump. There's a sign that says you're approaching the speed hump, and then there's another sign that says you're at a speed hump. So that, I think, would be really awful on the block. I mean, for people who live there, you have people accelerating as they're getting to it, slowing down, going over that hump, and then, accelerating again. So I think it's really a big problem. Again, I think that the best way to deal with it would be if we had periodic traps set up on Stonehouse where a police officer could be sitting and start ticketing everyone, even people who live in Glen Ridge. Our town is notorious for not necessarily ticketing. I'm not looking for a ticket, believe me, but is notorious for not ticketing
the residents of Glen Ridge. The truth is, maybe if we did, we wouldn't have speeding so much all over the place. So I'm really concerned about that. And the blinking signs, I think, is really, really spooky. Another thing I just want to mention is about 5 years ago, there was some kind of a traffic study done because the mechanism was put at the base of our driveway. And so that, I think it was there for almost 2 weeks. I never saw the results of that. In 5 years period of time, I haven't seen an increased presence of police. I've never seen an accident on Sunset. Sorry, George, I missed yours.
Yeah, mine was the only one
I missed yours, I'm so
in
sorry.
my driveway.
Never saw an accident on Sunset. I have not seen people pulled over and getting tickets on Sunset. You know, I think that we're really approaching this as a drastic measure as opposed to just let's get some boots on the ground, set up a trap, ticket people, and I think people will pay attention to it.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I just do want to address, we do have a dedicated traffic officer now, Officer Parego, and,
So now we did before,
oh,
or?
it's been about a year,
Okay.
and I can assure you that he has set up speed traps, on
On Sunset?
Sunset, yes.
Regularly.
Has he ticketed anyone?
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes,
so let's build up our
yes,
It is
yes,
happening.
and we have that data, and Chief, we're more than happy to share that, because we have included some of that enforcement data in our recent traffic report that's on our website. I would encourage folks to look at that.
There's an in-depth report as to what was done 5 years ago with that study.
I'd have to go back and look. I mean, we have more recent data, so that's the survey and the traffic engineer report that we said we'd share as well. So somehow maybe we can get someone's email who can help with the distribution. That would be helpful. But yeah, so I can, yes, maybe we're so stealth, but yes, there are. And we do think it's around 30 to 40% of Glen Ridge residents who do get pulled over.
Oh.
In
nice.
general, with our
Okay.
traffic
And
enforcement.
they get tickets,
Oh, yeah.
or they get warnings?
It's up to the officer's discretion. I can't say what the
Okay.
Give them a ticket, they won't do anything.
However, we're not saying that
You got,
Okay, I'm safe now.
Glen Ridge residents are not.
yeah.
They are not immune, but we'll take your recommendation and our advisement to give more tickets to Glen Ridge residents. Yeah.
Yeah, another 2-for-1. I'm Michael, I'm
We're choosers over here.
at 69 Sunset, and again, I just reiterate pretty much what everyone else has said up until now. And my concern really is, I don't want to see Glen Ridge turning into the next Coney Island. I mean, we've got the flashing lights are popping up everywhere. I mean, come on.
Okay.
Law enforcement, I don't see it. I haven't seen it in 25 years. I mean, we saw it 5 years ago. You know, I spoke to the officer that was installing that device or whatever at the base of my driveway. I spoke to him for about 45 minutes while I was putting it in. And one of the things I said, why aren't you guys issuing tickets? And he said, the borough would never allocate the funds to do that.
I can't speak for what happened 5 years ago.
Uh,
I can
just-
only tell you within the
Alright.
last year, we
Yeah,
have
we did
dedicated
allocate
traffic
the funds.
enforcement, and
Things are changing, and that's a
things
good
have
thing.
changed.
But all I want to say is, you know, that testing or that survey was done 5 years ago, and the speeding's been going on for 25 years.
Okay, I
Okay,
understand that,
but-
yeah.
I have not seen any kind of police enforcement on the block.
Okay, well, we'll get you the data. We have that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I ordered an Oprah request this afternoon, just
Okay.
because I'm interested to see what's going on. I mean, I don't see everything, but I see a lot, you know.
Okay.
You know, so that's basically it. The flashing light, flashing stop sign, if it's installed where it should be, where it's being proposed, that's right in front of my bedroom window. So I'm gonna have a red flashing bedroom, okay?
Is that a problem?
And other than that, I don't know if I have any other comments here. Just, again, like everyone else is saying, enforce the law. I mean, I learned the lesson myself. You know, I don't speed on Broad Street because I know I'm gonna get pulled over.
Mhm.
When I'm in an Uber going to Newark Airport, I tell the Uber driver, you better slow down. And, you know, otherwise you're gonna get, stopped.
Okay,
And there's a problem townwide. I mean, Ridgewood Avenue, I have to, you know, there's a crosswalk there, and signs were put up. There's a crosswalk there for pedestrians. I stopped at the sign there on Sunset. I see kids. I see a mother with a stroller trying to cross the street. I get so aggravated with it, I'll pull onto Ridgewood Avenue, stop my car, get out, and
that
I
feedback.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Just one more thing. I brought this to Councilor Hughes' attention last year. The street lamps, the street lights, they need to be looked at again. Last year, there were a number, there's so many.
They did get a lot better though,
Yeah,
because
they
we
did.
got out
You
some
were very
PSAs.
responsive.
Just to that point, over the weekend, I informed Public Works to do a count and give a report to PS, and that went out,
Yeah.
today's Monday, yeah, today. So we did a inventory over the last couple of days and sent that
Yeah,
out.
we have to stay on top of that with PSCG, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Hello, my name's Richard Siegel, and I can't promise I'm the last person to discuss the stop signs, but I'm close to the end. And I live on Sunset Avenue, I've lived there 45 years, and right across the 387. And we're not sure what the 20 flashing lights are going to do. It's a very vague proposal. We don't know if they're plain stop signs, flashing stop signs, or the real intense LED ones like you have on Ridgewood Avenue, which no one in the area likes, I have to tell you, though may be necessary.
They are necessary. It has really reduced traffic accidents, so yeah, I appreciate that, yeah.
And there was a traffic survey done in the past, but no one's seen it, so it's difficult to comment on it. We do know that several trees look like they're gonna have to be taken down for sight lines for the stop signs. And as I mentioned, the LED signs on Ridgewood, very strong, very annoying. I'm not sure what the stop signs at T intersection are supposed to do exactly. Maybe we can investigate the one on Woodland Avenue and Douglas that was put in to see if it accomplished what it's supposed to do, or it's just for show. And the speed bumps are mentioned, but again, there's no plans available either downstairs or anything that we've seen. We don't know if they're going to be humps. We don't know if they're, as Montclair calls them, we don't know if they're going to be bump stops or any signs or anything like that. And very difficult to make a comment on it until we see some plans, and I'm requesting that we shouldn't go forward until there's some plans that we can actually see and comment on and get our input to.
Okay.
And just one very last thing, this is a little unusual, but another neighbor who's been around for over 40 years, Lori Kristen Cole, couldn't attend tonight. She's discussed all of this with us and asked that she be noted as concurrent with what we're talking about.
Okay,
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Also, we do not want a flashing red sign.
I got that. I definitely heard that. Yeah.
We don't want one. Loud and clear.
You want tickets?
Tickets.
Yeah.
Any other,
Actually, I just had one thing.
come on up. Well, let's do, I want to make sure.
It's not that important, but I was just concerned about the traffic when the school's letting out, if there's 3 separate stop signs, or during rush hour in the morning, with the school opening up, the traffic could back up to both roads at the end of Sunset.
Okay. No, I was going to say, you're welcome to come back up. I wanted to make sure if anyone else who hasn't had a chance to speak, we'll allow them to come up before a second round. Do we have some additional, anyone else for public comment?
Hi, Amanda McCabe, 205 Baldwin Street. Just wanted to acknowledge the introduction of the gas leaf blower ordinance this evening. I appreciate that I think we've found a middle road way to limit without eliminating the blowers to help to improve noise and air quality conditions in town. It also, I'm hoping, might continue our conversation about sustainability and sustainable landscaping. The idea of the benefits of leaf litter and why it exists and what its role in nature with creating an organic mulch, natural fertilizer, and helping to protect our beneficial insects, which we know are declining rapidly at an alarming rate. So there are lots of benefits to not using the gasket blowers around. So thank you for your multi-year effort, work on this, and I hope we will proceed this evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. John Venery, attorney for Glen Ridge Country Club. Actually, I didn't know that this was on tonight, and I'm comparing the ordinance to the earlier one. I think it's meeting at a happy medium. I know these are difficult decisions, and I've dealt with this in other towns. Just one consideration. So the club does aeration of the grass, and that happens after December 15th. Just a consideration, the timeframes are fine. Just a consideration to allow that maybe for some type of an entity that has over maybe 25 acres, 30 acres, someone that falls into that category like GRCC. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Mayor, if I could ask, so what is it that you're asking for?
So they aerate and it leaves the little soil pellets, and they're very heavy. They blow them in the wintertime for cleaning up.
They don't just leave them?
No.
Yeah, it's the first I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's the first, and I know we've had a number of conversations with the country club. Are you?
They haven't asked us for that, as far as I know.
But can you just tell me your affiliation with the club?
Attorney for the club.
You're an attorney for the club?
Yes. Yeah, I was at the public hearing on this, and we talked about it. I think Gabe was here, who was the groundskeeper and building and grounds manager, who was leaving the club. His successor was not able to be here tonight, so they had called me. They mentioned this as an issue not regarding the timing, but regarding the time frame, because sometimes that occurs after December 15th. And I can get more detail from them with respect to
So do they use that turbo blower to blow them?
I
or
think
how
they
do
use a backpack gas blower for that,
Okay,
because
yeah.
the other one, the electric ones don't work on these.
All right, yeah, maybe through the chair of the planning committee, which is Councilor Morrow,
Sure.
you can give us that information, because it's kind of new information.
Yeah, it was
and
new to me earlier, so I had participated in the first round of this, but that was the comment that came out here, and also just to thank you for, working with everyone, and, this is, we're not against this, but it has to work for everyone.
Yeah, I'm glad you saw how we addressed
No,
the dates from the Virginia, and it was the
I compared it to the full 40
comments.
minutes I had when I knew I was coming here, and I see, yes, there.
Yeah, because we really were trying to take
Yeah.
the note of what we thought
Sure.
the club needed. So.
Absolutely, thank you.
Thanks.
So, yeah, I don't know how. Well, I think I have your information.
Yeah, I can
We
correspond with
can
Eric
reach out.
on this. but I
Okay,
can
Eric's
ask-
fine.
yeah.
Okay, if you've given it to Eric,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
that's fine. I think we just need to know really specifically, because I would hate to have another comeback at this, and you're like, actually, that's not what we do. We do this, right? It's a moving target that's hard for us to manage
Sure.
from an ordinance perspective. So we just really need to know some certainty around what the club
Yeah, we'll
does.
get you more details.
Yeah.
certainly, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your
Okay,
time.
thanks.
Hello, everyone. Dear members of the Town Council,
You need your name and where you live.
I am Punita Gupta, resident of 375 Forest Avenue. I'm here in my personal capacity as a Glen Ridge resident, taxpayer, and an active participant in Glen Ridge town activities and community. We have lived here for over 8 years, and my older daughter graduated from the high school here, and my younger daughter is currently in the middle school. I want to bring to the attention of all members of the Town Council that there is a hearing of the Adjustment Board on the 14th, this Thursday, at 7:30 p.m. related to variances that the GRCC is requesting in connection with its expansion plans. It should be noted that the variances are quite significant in their ask, requesting permission to move the setback from a required 100 feet based on the Clause D of Glen Ridge Code Section 17.20.010, bringing it down from 100 to a merely 13 feet. In addition, the proposed club expansion plans posted on the town website envision a large kids pool and over 18,000 feet of paved seating area in the variance zone. They are adjacent to an open-air tiki bar, food serve areas, and other upgrades that will be associated with active and noisy social activities, disrupting the peace and privacy of a quiet green corner where I and several of my neighbors reside. There is a large-scale tree removal envisioned, with more than 60 large, mature shade trees being marked down for removal in this variance zone, should this be approved. Code Section 17.20010 has been the town law for over 60 years, written in 1963 and amended in 1977. It was specifically written with the GRCC activities in mind in order to protect the peace and privacy of residents. If the Adjustment Board grants such a large variance, it will totally violate both the letter and spirit of this ordinance. We respectfully urge the Town Council to recognize the nature and graveness of this variance request. Several of my neighbors and I will be at the hearing on Thursday to make our concerns known, and we urge the Town Council to attend this hearing as well in order to hear our concerns firsthand. I request the Council to kindly enter my message in the Council proceeding records. Thank you for your time and consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. The clerk has the correspondence and it will be entered. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Eric Matisoff. I live.
We can hear you, yes.
All right.
That's totally fine.
Yeah, I can work on my abs too.
Yeah, you don't need to.
So my name
Please
is,
don't, actually.
Yes, thank you. My name is Eric Matisoff. I live at 386 Forest Avenue. This isn't my first time speaking to you all on this topic, the topic of gas-powered leaf blowers, but it is my first time talking to you about the proposed ordinance that will be presented today, which I think, as Amanda mentioned earlier, is a really nice, kind of fair way that owners, leave-the-leaf folks, landscapers, meticulous lawn people, and everyone in between can be happy with. My one piece of feedback, actually the one piece of feedback from our public hearing a month and a half ago, I loved the delay from 8 a.m. to 8:30 to allow children to get to school with a little less noise and a little less debris in the air, which is great, so kudos. So I wanted to commend you all on this multi-year effort, which is awesome. And also make the recommendation that we do put a stake in the ground for a day where gas-powered leaf blowers are banned year-round. Whether it's 5 years out, 6 years out, 8 years out, 10 years out, I think the putting that stake in the ground will help alleviate another multi-year conversation, and will also ensure that we're living in a happier place. I think that the other really nice thing about that is it enables the landscapers who express their concerns about a full year ban, is that it gives them time to plan for it. If today they were to add $5 per person for a fall cleanup, then eventually they're gonna have enough money to upgrade all of their equipment. And you know what's nice about small business owners is they never decrease prices. So they'll instead just make more money once they start using that equipment. So that's my only feedback to suggest. Otherwise, awesome. Thank you for the hard work, and keep it up.
Thank you very much for your feedback.
Hello, my name is Mark Murphy, 20 Hillcrest. Don't know if anyone is a veteran. Chief Quinn, if any of your officers are veterans, thank you for your service. appreciate it. Also, wanted to thank the council for the hard work on the leaf blower ordinance. We support your work in that process, and we look forward to hearing the, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the public? I have to say, this is the most robust public comment we've had in a while, and it makes us feel loved and seen, so we appreciate that. We are gonna move forward with the rest of our meeting, which includes a number of resolutions and ordinances. You are all welcome to leave. We will be, I'm not kidding. It's okay, it's okay. I know you have some drag racing to do. So, we are live streamed on Facebook. If you want to pick us back up in the comfort of your own home, that's fine. We won't be able to monitor your comments on Facebook, though.
Just be careful driving to work tomorrow on Sunset.
Yeah. Yeah, Chief Quinn has already sent the word out to...
They may be there already. Yeah.
No, thank you.
Council, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time. We
Really,
appreciate
it's
it.
great to see people here.
Great, thank you very much. I will, thank you.
Thanks, George.
I did. Ah, fighting swans. All right, so we'll make sure to get those reports out.
Stop something without talking to you.
David, are you ready?
Hey, Charles. Guys, appreciate it. See you.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, Madam Mayor, and I would like to echo the comments you made. It's often lonely work here in the council chambers, so it is very nice to see an engaged public on several issues. That said, I have Resolution 139-24. Be it resolved that the following claims be approved and warrants be drawn for the same, and the amounts to be paid from the various funds are listed in the ordinance. So, Madam Mayor, I move the resolution.
You've heard the motion by Councilor Lefkowitz. Do I have a second?
I'll second, Mayor.
Heard the motion by Councilor Lefkowitz, seconded by Councilor Hughes. Any discussion on this resolution? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Madam Mayor, Councilors Lefkowitz,
Aye.
Hughes,
Aye.
Moody. Aye. Law.
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Thank you.
Next, Madam Mayor, I have Ordinance 1815. This is an ordinance providing for water main replacement around Carteret Street between Ridgewood Avenue and Midland Avenue in the borough of Glen Ridge, appropriating $2.2 million for that. Is that 2.2 million?
Yeah, that's correct.
$2.2 million for that purpose, and authorizing issuance of $2.2 million of bonds or notes to finance the cost. So I move ordinance 1815.
May I have a second for the introduction?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilor Morrow. Any discussion amongst the members of the council?
Well, just for the benefit of anybody watching at home, we should say that this project is financed through the New Jersey Infrastructure Bank and is subject to $1 million of principal loan forgiveness by the I-Bank.
Thank you. Seeing no other comments, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Madam Mayor, Councilors Lefkowitz,
Aye.
Hughes,
Aye.
Moody. Aye. Law.
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays, the ordinance is passed on first reading.
I refer ordinance 1815 to the municipal clerk for the purpose of statutory publication and posting.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything further, Councilor Lefkowitz?
Nothing further from me, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councilor Hughes?
Mayor, I have no report from public safety tonight, although we're listening very closely to the public comments tonight, and we will be certainly taking all those comments into consideration as we take another look again at, and we will share the report then. We'll get the name and we'll send that out.
Yes, I think
Yeah,
our
I have
recording
that.
secretary has
Yeah, we'll send
gathered
that out.
all the emails.
And honestly,
Yeah.
getting this kind of public feedback is essential for
Yeah.
us and help us make better decisions. So tonight I have resolution 140. We are in receipt of $18,431.74 from the Essex County Municipal Alliance Committee for the year 2024-2025, and we want to incorporate that same $18,431 into our budget as a special item, and that's what this resolution does, and I move the resolution.
You've heard the motion by Counselor Hughes. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Heard the motion by Counselor Hughes, seconded by Counselor Law. Any discussion on this resolution?
I'll just say for the public that these are good dollars that go to education programs on avoiding drinking and driving, substance abuse. These funds in particular will enable the Municipal Alliance Committee to do the pre-candy cane kind of awareness elevation for kids to celebrate responsibly.
There you go.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Madam Mayor. Councilors Lefkowitz,
Aye.
Hughes,
Aye.
Moody,
Aye.
Law,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Thank you.
Mayor, next I have resolution 14124. This is a resolution to purchase new radios for our police department. The radios that we have currently are at the end of their service life. Whereas the Department of Public Safety has determined there is a need to purchase new radio and communication equipment for the Glen Ridge Police Department, and whereas the purchase of goods and services by local contracting units is authorized by the local public contracts law, and whereas PMC Associates, 8 Crown Plaza, Hazlet, New Jersey, has a cooperative purchasing agreement with the state of New Jersey, and whereas our CFO has certified the availability of funds for this contract, therefore now be it resolved that the mayor and council of the borough of Glen Ridge hereby approve the purchase of new radio and communications equipment in the amount of $74,906.20 from PMC Associates. I move the resolution.
You've heard the motion by Counselor Hughes. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Heard the motion by Counselor Hughes, seconded by Counselor Lefkowitz. Any discussion on the resolution? Seeing no discussion, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Madam Mayor. Councilors Lefkowitz,
Aye.
Hughes,
Aye.
Moody,
Aye.
Law,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Thank you.
And finally, Mayor, Resolution 142-24, be it resolved that in accordance with the statute, the mayor and council approve the raffle license for an on-premise merchandise raffle submitted by the Glen Ridge High School Home and School Association to be held on December 8th, 2024 at 555 Ridgewood Avenue. Mayor, I move the resolution.
You've heard the motion by Counselor Hughes. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Heard the motion by Counselor Hughes, seconded by Counselor Lefkowitz. Any discussion on this resolution? Seeing no discussion, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Madam Mayor. Councilors Lefkowitz,
Aye.
Hughes,
Aye.
Moody,
Aye.
Law,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Thank you. Counselor Hughes, anything else?
That's it.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mayor.
Counselor Moody?
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I do not have a committee report tonight, but as has been referenced by the public, we do have an ordinance. I have an ordinance number 1816 that I would like to introduce, entitled Leaf Blower Ordinance. This ordinance establishes seasonal and time of day restrictions of gas-powered leaf blowers and time of day restrictions for electric leaf blowers. Additionally, turbo blowers are limited based on season and time of day. The ordinance establishes the responsibilities of all parties governing their usage and establishes penalties for any violation of the ordinance.
Thank you. May I have a second for the introduction of this ordinance?
Yes, I'm happy to second this.
Thank you, Councilor Morrow. Any discussion amongst members of the council?
I would love to thank the members of the EAC who've been working on this for years. They've had public information sessions. I want to thank all the residents that have come out over the years and all of those that came to the hearing that we had in October. So I really appreciate everyone's input. And I agree that I think we came up with something, not everybody is always happy. Some say we could have gone further, some might have been happy with the status quo, but clearly we felt the need to respond to our Environmental Advisory Committee's recommendations as well as the concerns of residents, so.
Yeah, I want to second that and say that I have really appreciated the guidance of the advisory committee and their gathering of so much research and data. But I want to give a special thanks to the borough staff, especially John and Eric, John Maliska and Eric DeLine. I feel as if we really worked hard to hear the public, but also make it practical for the town, for something that was enforceable and practical.
And sometimes the language just takes time.
Sometimes the language, we know that it's been making the sausage has taken a long time, but we appreciate everybody.
Thank you. Seeing no further comments forthcoming, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Madam Mayor. Councilors Lefkowitz?
Aye.
Hughes?
Aye.
Moody?
Aye.
Law?
Aye.
Meyer?
Aye.
Morrow?
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. This ordinance is passed on first reading.
I refer ordinance 1816 to the municipal clerk for the purpose of statutory publication and posting.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Anything else, Councilor Moody?
No, that is all for me tonight, Madam Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor Law. Public Works Utility Committee?
Yes, I have resolution number 143-24. This relates to an existing paving project on Sherman Avenue and Glen Ridge Avenue. During the course of the project, it was determined that it was desired to provide milling and paving services on Argyle Street. American Asphalt and Trucking of Newark, New Jersey submitted the lowest responsible base bid. There was a previous change order for $52,483, bringing the total project size to $561,000. This change order is the amount of $18,565. Now therefore be it resolved that the change order number 2 in the amount of $18,565 is hereby approved, bringing the total project size to $579,737. Madam Mayor, I seek to move this resolution.
You've heard the motion by Councilor Law. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Heard the motion by Councilor Law, seconded by Councilor Lefkowitz. I just want to note that this is happening because we have reprogrammed and available funds from the state. So we appreciate the flexibility of our committee and our staff on making sure we make the most of those dollars. Any further discussion on this resolution? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Madam Mayor. Councilors Lefkowitz?
Aye.
Hughes?
Aye.
Moody?
Aye.
Law?
Aye.
Meyer?
Aye.
Morrow?
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. The motion carries.
Thank you so much. Anything further, Councilor Law?
No, Madam Mayor.
That's it. Councilor Meyer? No report this evening. No report. Thank you. Councilor Morrow?
None for me.
You've been busy, planning and development has been busy. We'll move through comments of the administration. Mike Kelly?
All right, thank you, Mayor. Today being Veterans Day, I'd just like to recognize members of our crew that are veterans that have served in our armed forces. Our CSO, Chetty, served in the Marines. Our one and only Deputy Administrator, Eric DeLine, served in the National Guard and was active duty in Iraq. I'd just like to note, Eric, when he first started here, we put him on the water service replacement project throughout town, and he came well equipped to handle a hairy situation with his service abroad. Officer Lucas served in our Marine Corps. Officer Mazza served in the Marine Corps as well. And everybody knows and loves him. Larry Ratley, our jitney driver, was actually in the 101st Airborne in the Army for 6 years. So just to like to thank them all and recognize their service, not only to our country, but Glen Ridge as well. They're all wonderful people to work with. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mike, that's really nice. John?
Mayor, I have no comment.
Okay, Madam Clerk, congratulations on another successful election.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you have any comments for this evening?
Just that the elections ran very smoothly. We had an excellent turnout, over 2,200 voters, which is very exceptional for our town. And everything ran very smoothly, so I was very appreciative.
Yes,
And our residents cooperated.
Our residents, as they always do. We'd like to congratulate Counselor-elect Steve Zimmett, who's in the corner of the room. And of course, we'll be doing a formal send-off for Counselor Morrow, which is very painful for us, and everything during the swearing-in in this coming year.
How many early do you have? I don't have the info on how many. I can try to get it from the county though.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That was hot.
Yeah, that was driving by the early voting says was very impressive. The
Yeah.
lines of people outside, so.
Chief, anything?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to second Mike's comments and actually all of your comments, thanking our veterans for their service. And then also reminding everyone, because it is that season, that the Ashenfelter 8K is coming up on Thanksgiving. Our next meeting is, I think, 3 days before, so just a reminder, get all your shopping done before Thanksgiving if you can, because all the streets will be closed. So. That's all.
I know it's last minute cranberry sauce for you.
No, not if you need to go down Ridgewood. Head down to,
Walk to Food Town.
yes, walk to Food Town. We have no new or unfinished business. This is another opportunity for members of the public to comment. Gordon.
Gordon Levitt.
Gordon
Levitt.
Gordon Levitt. Yeah, we could have gotten past the 5th inning.
I know, it's pretty rough.
Still hurts. It'll hurt a while. First, I want to tell you that living in this wonderful community for 46 years is just a blessing. It is wonderful to come to, I don't come to enough meetings, but you handle everything so professionally. You're to be congratulated. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I have a question about dead tree responsibility. I get along with my neighbors. I want to keep it that way. At the back of their property, I saw Bill Bartlett the other week. He was out there measuring and whose property is this tree, this dead tree
So,
on?
okay, Bill's been
And it's on my neighbor's tree, it's not mine. Except that if it came down, it could become part of my property, and I don't want to lose my garage, etc. So I wondered, what is the responsibility here as to how that tree will be taken down and how, I'm not going to deal with my neighbor on it. I wanted to know what the legality is of handling a fairly large tree that's at the back of our property on hillside as it slopes down towards the brook.
Yeah, this
All
is
the way to the
tricky.
top.
I mean, private property is, something we don't, as a borough, get engaged on. Obviously, we maintain all our shade trees. I don't know, Mike, or if you want to comment.
Yeah,
on,
so
like,
typically what we recommend you do is send your letter to your neighbor, certified mail. You do it, not us.
When I was talking with Bill, he said that the town would be sending a notice.
Not for, no. So you would send them a letter, putting them on notice that they have a hazardous tree, and it should be addressed. So that way you have a record that they were put on notice. So if something does happen, correct, then your insurance their insurance would cover it. Is that
Really?
correct?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want the whole, to be responsible for every tree in town, but I thought that notice would come from,
We only do that when there's a tree that may fall into the public right-of-way. Like we had one on Cambridge Road years ago. That's primarily it.
Yeah.
that should make friends.
Well, I think, now, Joan, I can be wrong, but I think that if the neighbor's tree falls on your property, and does damage on your property, his insurance company's gonna have to pay for that.
No.
That's not-
No.
Only,
No, you have to notify them.
You have to notify them, once you notify them, it's their insurance.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Before that, it's your insurance.
yeah.
Can I use Bill Bartlett's name?
No. Don't take Billy Bartlett down.
He's the best, and DPW is fabulous. They help us, Chris always helps us with Tree Day. On a nice, positive note, if you know my wife Ellen Eagle, in the library set up on Saturday, in the display case are 16 of her paintings.
Oh, very nice.
And I think he would greatly enjoy going and taking a look. I think they're very special.
Are they digitally prepared? Does she have pictures of them?
Pictures of the paintings?
Paintings, yeah. Did she
Well, you mean
photograph them?
Like on a
Well,
website?
we have photographs.
If you could send them to me, I'm desperate for somebody to put on Channel 36 besides council meetings and other people's paintings that have been there for 7 years. So we have a gallery of some paintings on the TV station that circulate. I'd love some new content. So if she's willing to share them with us,
Well,
we'd be happy to post them.
Share them, I'm speaking for her, but
Yeah, yeah.
it was the library, Dawn and Tina Marie.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
They're
Yeah.
just fabulous. It has been terrific, from Jen Brewer to Tina Marie. You can't do that. So that's the positive of it.
Thank you very much for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Gordon.
Thanks, Gordon.
Any other public comment? Counselor Moody?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, adjourn.